the 41st anniversary of the very first meals that we served 41 years ago. Barbara brought that program to life and has nurtured it throughout those years. Having a kitchen of her own, of our own, was her dream. The dream came true, and then it was snatched away. Then last year in March, we had Mayors for Meals, and Mayor Rogero and Mayor Burchett both came. It was a gray and rainy day, and Mayor Burchett showed up under the makeshift tent, loaded his meals in the rain. You see some of the pictures there. Saw how difficult the entire setup was, asked for update on the situation, heard it wasn't so good, went on his route with a lovely volunteer family, and delivered his meals. And by the end of that morning, he had decided to do something about the situation. And that's exactly what he did. He made the resources available that were needed to rebuild the Mobile Meals Kitchen. And that's why we've come back home again, and that's why this story has a happy ending. Now, Barbara Monte has a few words to say to Mayor Tim, and then we want to hear from Mayor Burchett before we place this in his hand. He only has one hand, but it's very, very sharp. And that's what they told him yesterday. He is going to officially reopen the kitchen. So first we'll hear from Barbara, then from Mayor Tim.
Thank you. I don't think I've ever before been called a damn soul of any kind, but I appreciate it. I was thinking that it took, and I think on the day that we opened this kitchen 8 years ago in August, I think I mentioned that I'd been working and planning and trying and hoping for about 15 years to get this kitchen, and it was like a dream come true. Well, I'll tell you, these last 15 months have seemed longer than those 15 years. And when Mayor Tim Burchett came riding in on his white horse,
white Jeep, exactly,
a knight in shining armor, waving his sword, he truly is our hero, and I am eternally grateful to you, Tim.
Well, I want to thank both Barbaras. They've been, as I've said many times, a constant thorn in my side throughout my life. I don't know if it exactly went like that, but you know, I grew up in a Christian home, and one of the things I learned early on, you know, when I came in and I smelled bacon and eggs cooking on a weekday, that somebody broke down on the interstate, and Daddy or Mama had picked them up and brought them into the house to feed. I never was really a big fan of breakfast for any other meal other than breakfast, but I learned that was a pretty good lesson as a young boy. And there's several people here that I need to say hello to, of course. Judge Rawson, of course. Saw Sister Pilo back there. I grew up with her husband, Buddy. And so anyway, and John Owens back there. John, where are you, brother? Thank you so much. And Dick Moran, and of course Becky Massey here. I tell you, these fellas from the Sertoma Center, they never have a bad day, and I consider them all my very good friends. They come up and raid my refrigerator, and we hang out. I think I've hurt their efficiency because I spend so much time with them, but they are just a delight, and they always are smiling, and they've got something nice to say to me. We usually talk about professional wrestling, and then we go on about our way. But these are my buddies. Isn't that right? There it is. Anyway, y'all wave again so we know who you guys are. I want to thank everybody for being here. And of course, Mobile Meals fills an important need in this community. About a year and a half ago, that we know the storm severely damaged the roof of this building. The damage was so bad that, as you heard, they moved, first of all, the L.T. Ross building. And they couldn't wait for the insurance companies. And as y'all may or may not know, I'm not a big fan of bureaucracies, especially federal bureaucracies. So I told Knox County we'd get them a new roof. And, you know, we weren't going to let hungry, homebound folks sit at home while Mobile Meals was tied up in red tape. This facility has a new roof. It's 15 months later. It's long overdue. I'm just proud that Knox County had a small part in that. And I want to thank everybody for being here. I want to close with one little thing. I remembered a Sunday school story as I was sitting there, and it was a child was missing in this rural community. It was out in the Midwest somewhere. And they were looking for the kid, and everybody's going in different directions. And what happened was they all ended up joining hands and basically just walking out across the prairie. And that's how they found that child. And I think sometimes in this community we forget that. We need to all join hands just a little sooner, and we can get there a little faster. I want to thank y'all for this opportunity. Mayor O'Hara, as always, and fellow councilman, Mayor Brown. If I've left you out, it's purely intentional. So, thank you. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Get everybody up. Come on, how are we going to do it? Let's do it on which side we doing this on? Yeah, let's let the cameras see. Come on, around this. We got the board members.
Mayor Brown.